Hello everyone and welcome back to Fulton Road. This is the June 2024 video number 42. This month I'll talk a bit about EVA foam roads and weathering a gondola. Glue a half-inch strip of EVA foam to the back down the middle in order to create a crown. Here I've done that to a strip I've been working on before, and I've glued it to some scrap foam core which I've painted black. Here's that same piece of foam core with the road strips mounted on it, a piece of track, and I'm working on sidewalks. Once the sidewalks dried, they were a bit too wide for my liking, so I trimmed them to about 4 scale feet on each side. Use black EVA foam for the roadway because you can scrape off the top layer and get some cracking effects that you can't otherwise get. Speaking of cracking, I got carried away with crackle paste and screwing around with another scrap piece of EVA foam that had a decal on it. And these are the results. I wanted to try this after having seen Boomer Diorama's channel and Chuck Geiger on his Las Piedras Railroad. I bought this gondola a few years back with the intention of making it a rust bucket. Using Gary Christensen's method, I first sprayed it with a clear flat coat. Here I'm using Tamiya. And then I chose a color for a fade. Now this is a darker color because most of the prototypes I looked at are very dark and look almost black in many cases. There were 3 coats of diluted craft paint that were applied to get the fade. It was pretty hot here in Southern California when I did this, but I still used the hairdryer to speed up the drying process between each coat. It's kind of interesting that when I first read about this technique, I did not understand it. And it was not until I saw the videos with Gary explaining how he did this that the light bulb suddenly went off. But it's really a simple technique. Craft paint dries very quickly. It's very flat. You just have to dilute it with a lot of water. And the fade builds up as you apply first, second, or more coats. You just have to be your own judge and stop when you think you've achieved the look that you want. So here's where I took a dive off the deep end. I bought this Rust Effects kit some years ago. It's 20 bucks. And it's really made for crafters. It's not for fine scale modeling. But I wanted to use it on this gondola that I had. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to take you through the steps. You get 3 bottles. You get basically a primer, which is the reddish color. You get the what they call iron oxidizing paint, which is a dark gray. And then you get a bottle of a solution called a rust activator. What I'm showing you is a clear solution. That's actually vinegar with a pinch of salt. I ran out of the original solution because I tried it on something much bigger and used it all up. But I remembered that if you stick a piece of steel wool in a container with vinegar, you'll initially get what many people call a pickling solution for wood. But if you leave it in there, that piece of steel wool will completely dissolve into rust. Ask me how I know that. So I read on the internet that vinegar is what activates this paint. And it worked. Just fair warning or disclaimer, if you will. What I did may not be for everyone. This is really overdone, and clearly a car like this would have ended up in the scrap pile or scrap line many, many years before it got to this stage. But I'm happy I did it. It gave me a chance to try something that I'd wanted to try for quite a long time. And again, the process is simple. The other thing you should know is that I did the other side first, so you're looking at me working on the second side here. Missing from this side are the conspicuity stripes, the little yellow stripes that are reflective, that are required on cars these days. So it's just another technique you may want to try or not. Anyway, here it is for what it's worth, and you'll see the end results in the glamour shots, as I call them. That's it for this month's video. Thank you very much for stopping by Fulton Road. I have noticed that I've picked up several subscribers. I am humbled and thankful to you. I wish I spoke more languages than just English and Spanish. As always, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to receive your comments and to try to answer your questions.